A village spreads below a castle that watches over the ocean from its volcanic perch, as if guarding secrets the island is still too young to tell. The plateaus of Dubrovnik and Muzio rise like green commentators, their grass-covered volcanic slopes hiding the fire that built them. These elevated plains seem to float above the ocean, peaceful pastures that disguise the sleeping volcanoes beneath. While at Lac Salé, an emerald lake sits impossibly close to the turquoise ocean, two different shades of paradise separated by barely a strip of black volcanic sand. It's as if the earth couldn't decide between fresh water and salt, so simply chose, quote, but it's at the heart of Grande Comore where the true power of these islands reveals itself. Rising like a sleeping giant, Karthala volcano dominates the horizon. One of the world's largest active volcanoes, its massive caldera stretches 3 by 4 kilometers wide. This is a mountain that refuses to sleep. Standing before Karthala, you're witnessing the opposite end of isolation timeline, where Madagascar spent 88 million years slowly perfecting its impossible creatures. Here, the Earth creates new worlds in an instant. This volcano has rewritten itself over 20 times in just 2 centuries, each eruption adding new chapters to a story that's barely begun. Our journey began with a piece of Africa breaking free 88 million years ago. We traveled through kingdoms of these bizarre, dancing primates, razor-sharp stone forests, villages unchained by time. It's been a journey across worlds, but also one story. The Earth itself, writing wonders at the edge of time. Where Madagascar spent millions of years perfecting the impossible through isolation, these volcanic islands are just beginning their own chapter. What unimaginable creatures will evolve here? What new impossibilities will emerge as these baby volcanoes have our time to cool and create? In the shadow of Karthala's smoking crater, the next chapter of Earth's strangest story is already being written in fire and stone. Think isolation creates strange worlds? Wait until you see what happens to one of these most completely empty. Click here to discover how Mongolia's vast emptiness shaped an empire that conquered half the world. It's the only iPhone 17 Pro on Earth. The most powerful iPhone yet. Most expensive one is number one. So it's an idea. Whatever you're looking for, Paramount Plus can take you there.
About 1,000 kilometers north of Tokyo lies Japan's second biggest island, Hokkaido, about twice the size of Switzerland. Its northeast tip is the Shiratoko Peninsula. According to the Ainu, Hokkaido's indigenous people, one meaning of Shiratoko is the end of the world. Salmon migrate from the Pacific Ocean to spawn in its rivers. Most are humpback salmon. They don't arrive unnoticed. The brown bears are looking forward to their best time of the year. Many salmon swim 100 kilometers, only to end in a bear's jaws. This will build a healthy layer of fat. Skin and innards are popular. But eggs are the real delicacy. As autumn advances, the forest starts to glow. Since 1964, the peninsula has been a protected national park. In 2005, it won UNESCO World Natural Heritage status.
UNESCO.
Early in that, a female brown bear is hunting. In fact, she's late getting started. Most of the salmon are long gone. Brown bears are Japan's biggest animal. The female is Mokoyama. She keeps her two cubs close. They're part of the world famous brown bear population. She ties its youth of care. She's wonderful, but there's not much fun. Autumn is coming to its end. It's the crucial time for building up reserves. Luckily, brown bears aren't eating beetles. They'll have just almost anything. Nuts, berries, fruits, or wood. Perhaps the best chance of surviving the tough Hokkaido winter. Where temperatures drop as low as -15 Celsius.
You can tell.
But in February, the coldest time of the year, the gift which will sustain life here reaches these shores from the north. First, it's just a few fragments. Then, more and more. Until masses of pack ice move towards the peninsula.
Fucking spider man.
The ice has come a long way from the north, more than 1,000 kilometers from the Sea of Okhotsk. Soon the ice meets the shore, and the fragments are pressed The fox has to be careful when exploring. This could be dangerous. He has to find his way onto solid ground again. There are still a few mild, bright days. And then winter hits hard. It's a tough time now. The seeker Stan, exhausted from open combat with rifle melee, can hardly stay on its feet. To reach the top regions,
naman basta pa.
Oh, hello,
Research
Salman.
will keep the box for weeks. It is safe as well. You have to take your chances here in Shirotoko if you want to see next spring.
Ano naman basta pa.
The coast is starting to look typically Arctic, along with strange signs to map. The island say the ice is beautiful. The real explanation is more familiar. The sound of ice floes.
Ano ba naman basta pa.
It's too hot to do the steam from the dishes. It makes me sweat too much.
Visitors from Siberia find a way to shoot. Sterex sea. These magnificent raptors have two unique wingspan. They spend their summer in Russia's far east, but they prefer the comparatively mild winters of Japan. The global population of Sterex species is just 8,000. At first, winter on Hokkaido. Here they find the true fishermen. As the sun sets, Shirotoko reveals another wonder. It is the perfect place to observe night sky.
Cawabanga.
Halfway done with the dishes. Kinda halfway done.
It takes the pale light of the moon to dampen the spectacle. And to rouse another Shirotoko resident. One of Japan's rarest birds. A Blakiston's fish owl. A few hundred survive in Russia, China, and northern Japan. Hokkaido has no more than 160. This fish owl is only his sharp eyes look at his tiny
Hokkaido.
Every successful trade introduces seasons. Their youth is silver. Now saving on the ice field.
Alright, I got some more dishes to grab. Yeah, yeah.
They can be patient. They know what's on the way. When fishers pull in their nets, something always gets lost. Small fry and unwanted bycatch is thrown overboard. A wintry gift on the ice for the eagles. Steller sea eagles are the largest of their kind and among the most powerful birds of prey on Earth, with the sharpest eyes and claws. The power chooses competition, not which time to enjoy this. These fights are all about their smaller rivals are white-tailed eagles. This instead is the This The competition can quickly help us resolute the problem. The smaller white tail is chasing. Where they are on the back of it, they wouldn't see the distance. The mystery should be involved. And now, Rachel. She showed no interest.
What's up, everybody?
My story was called Puma, a safe refuge from the sea. The new Pumas are lying on the way.
Yo, what up, Holmes? Holmes? What up, Holmes?
A suit and a whole new drink. Some combine it with tea, others water and meat. Cream gives you frequent strips of salt to each bowl.
couple of dishes. I only got a few more left. Well, actually, most of the dishes I got left are fucking silverware, so silverware is almost the worst part. Other than that, I'm almost done.
A sea butterfly. A snail with wings.
Alright, I got 2 plates.
Perhaps the
Then
most wonderful
silverware.
is this one. This one looks like an egg, but it has a dark side.
What's up, y'all?
Its insect is poor. It compensates with surface, trackless prey. The returning predator stalks or sleep. Its inside sucked out. The victim is eaten alive. Beneath or above the ice, its feet, walking into the end of life. The temperature A great transformation is starting. Microscopic algae turn the ice brown. As pink sunshine brings the phytoplankton to life. But this couldn't happen without iron, locked in the ice and now set free. Thus nourished, microscopic algae flourish in myriad forms. They attract the next link in the chain of life, krill. These individuals did and now there is a decrease closer to the iron and other nutrients brought by the outside hundreds of miles away are the gift of life that sea assures you. watching their cavity tips surrender. No media danger. Every time things are unnoticed. The bond between mother and cub is the one lasting attachment. Youngsters usually stay with their mothers till their third year, time to learn all the need to survive the forests of Hokkaido. Come to this coast in the summer. The largest members of the broken family are good for nature. They're not to be destroyed as a tiny tree. They're not the Pacific area. Jirotuko has visitors in the summer. Come from their breeding grounds.
Almost done.
They flew 10,000 kilometers. They too are here for food. Geometers aren't only astounding long-distance flyers. When they swim, they're just as appealing out of the sea. Powerful winds and wet feet held them down.
Dish. Fucking dish. Fucking dish, yeah.
Mom, I was thinking.
I'll see you home.
Oh, well, she said she doesn't want any time. I could just have a new art into the people and to that's what I mean.
You're strong.
No,
Yeah.
The all-new iPhone 17 Pro won't have the most powerful iPhone yet. Most expensive $1,000 wire. Yeah.
You can maybe could. local statues and small food. Street communities. After all the effort, the birds have to rest. Not so easy when everyone has the same idea.
Dishes. Letting the water
Finally,
Clean.
clean settle down, and peace descends.
and scrubbing bubbles clean the dishes themselves. Fucking dishes. The utensils are the worst part. It takes forever.
The friend, away. A thing, to be precise. This marine mammal can measure more than 20 meters. The shells are not on the way to landing. They each grow. Whales are the second biggest creatures on Earth. Males weigh up to 60 tons. That's nearly 3 buses. Whales come to Togo's coasts in spring and summer when krill are abundant.
What's up, everybody? Everybody.
Sometimes they gather in large groups to eat presents of animals. This is a really each whale needs about 2 tons of krill a day. Secretly swimming, they eat, come back. Sheila waters don't appreciate it. From above, there is basic action. It's like a firefly. And all of this depends on what we can find.
Party on, Garth. I'm almost done. Got like a few more spoons left.
Plenty for all. Petros. And she there with her cups is following the tea.
He's atop his dish. He's giving his kitties kisses. I was playing Monopoly with my nose, pecking away at it.
Every secret was safe. And they knew that perfectly.
Improvise, adapt, overcome.
Summer is a woman's option. In just a few weeks,
A little more to go.
vegetable undersea ponds. Perfect hiding places for sea creatures. And their nests too. And intimidating stare.
Playing Monopoly with your nose. If your first name is something better, make a letter here. Hey man, I might be Jewish on part of my family. I might be Jewish somewhere in my timeline. I do have a slope of a nose. So you never know, man. Don't count me out yet. I think that's it. I think I'm all done with dishes. Now, laundry is a whole nother story.
The commotion attracts a North Pacific giant octopus. The world's biggest octopus has tentacles up to 5 meters long.
Okay, I gotta sweep the floor.
But enough scallops survive to spawn the next generation. The abundance of the seas nourishes the land too.
Fucking gross.
And Vixen has her territory not far from the fishing village. She's happy to live close to humans. Perfectly relaxed, she scans the beach for anything edible. Hers is an olfactory universe, her sense of smell 400 times more sensitive than a human's. The food is not for her. Her pups are hungry. Fresh caught baby food. They never have enough. An old boat hut is home. The vixen never rests. And she's back with another serving. You shouldn't really play with food, but an octopus tentacle is made for a tug of war. The fox family survives thanks to the Sea of Shiratoko. And sometimes the same sea, nurtured by ice, brings in a swiftly generous gift. The brown bears are caught a seductive scent. Drawing them irresistibly. The remains of a stranded whale. We've come full circle. Nutrients sealed in the ice fed the algae and krill that were consumed by the whale that is now in the bear's stomachs and will eventually fertilize Shiratoko's forests. It's this interdependence of land and sea that makes the peninsula so special. Its fauna so bountiful. But climate change now threatens to wreck the delicate balance. Over 40 years, the pack ice through the Sea of Okhotsk has lessened by 25%. We can only hope that Hokkaido's wildlife will cope with this change. So Japan's wild north and its unique inhabitants will be saved for future generations.
There's a lot that goes into opening a ski muddy.
I need to trust my teammates and work hard so people can enjoy it.
"200 years ago, if the British Empire wanted someone to disappear, this is where they sent them. The world's most remote prison island. But the chains are long gone, leaving behind an island that defies imagination. Ancient volcanoes frozen in time. Predators so fearsome, they were named after the devil himself. And a coastline that glows bright orange. This is Tasmania, the prison that became paradise. For thousands of years, the Palawa people navigated these coastal waters. Then, in 1803, the British arrived with a different vision. They looked at this rugged peninsula, its towering cliffs, narrow necks of land, churning waters, and saw the perfect prison. Here they sent their worst of the
Seen them
worst.
protesting in Mexico. Yeah, I heard they breached the palace, but then I haven't heard anything since then. So I guess they breached the palace, but I don't know if they took over or not. Hopefully they, I don't know. I feel like that Steinbaum or whatever her name is should, I don't know. I'm not sure. Sounds like they want her to leave.
The prison followed the panopticon design. A central tower watching everything, prisoners never knowing when they were being observed.
Alright, I got clean dishes now.
Guards enforced absolute silence. Men worked, ate, and slept without speaking for years. Some inmates went mad, others planned impossible escapes. Today, ghost tours wind through these ruins after dark. Visitors report strange sensations and unexplained sounds. Perhaps some echoes refuse to fade.
Yeah, right.
For those desperate enough to attempt escape, one barrier remains. A narrow strip of land connecting the Tasman Peninsula to the mainland. Here, the authorities created the dog line. Savage dogs chained across the strip, forming a living wall more terrifying than any stone barrier. The message was clear. This far, no further. Even the ground seemed designed for entrapment. At tessellated pavement, the coastline fractures into perfect geometric patterns. Rectangles and polygons that look impossibly precise, as if ancient architects laid stone tiles across the shore. The rocks tell a story spanning millions of years. Sea levels rising and falling, pressure and time creating this alien geometry.
Yeah, right.
The Tasman Peninsula ends in some of the tallest sea cliffs in the southern hemisphere. At Cape Howie, 300-meter dolerite walls plunge straight into the churning ocean. Sea stacks rise like stone needles. From the air, the coastline looks sculpted. Columns of dark rock arranged like a giant's causeway. Waves exploding white against black stone. For convicts, these cliffs represented the final boundary. Today, these same walls stand as monuments to the impossible. What was once an edge of despair has become a destination of wonder. North along the coast, Wineglass Bay curves in a perfect crescent of white sand and turquoise water. Postcards call it paradise, but the name tells a darker story. In the 1800s, whaling stations turned this bay literally red with blood. Ships hauled massive carcasses into these shallows, and for days the entire bay resembled a giant wine glass. Now the same bay hosts kayakers and swimmers. The water crystal clear once again. You won't find many whales here anymore. However, dolphins do patrol these waters today. Sleek, intelligent, and not at all shy of humans. On Maria Island, scattered convict remnants slowly surrender to vegetation, their walls becoming footnotes to a larger story. The real spectacle here belongs to Mother Nature.
I just realized I'm going to have to end this stream in a few minutes and then stream on my other phone. So.
Painted cliffs glow orange and yellow along the coastline.
But I'll take it down
Iron and
first.
sand compressed into natural murals that shift color with the changing light. These geological monuments have stood for millennia, indifferent to human drama. But it's the wombats that rule this island now. Barrel-shaped and determined, they waddle across former prison grounds with complete authority. These marsupial tanks weigh as much as a large dog, but move with surprising purpose, grazing methodically through the island's grasslands. Their burrow systems can stretch up to 30 meters underground, longer than a tennis court.
30 meters. It's amazing.
Watching them, one might imagine all the creatures that once shared this landscape. The thylacine, Tasmania's legendary tiger, was declared extinct after the last captive died in 1936. However, the island's deep forests still whisper with unexplained sightings. Striped shadows glimpsed at dusk, then gone. Grainy photos that prove nothing, yet refuse to be dismissed entirely. The coast softens as we move north. At Swansea, gentle settlements replace forbidding fortresses. Molting lagoons spreads like a mirror, its vast wetlands stretching toward distant hills. A sanctuary where countless waterbirds gather at the intersection of fresh and salt water. As darkness falls, little penguins emerge from the surf. 40 centimeters tall and determined, they waddle up the beach in small groups, chattering to each other as they head to burrow in the dunes. Every night they make this journey from sea to shore, as they have for thousands of years. It's a simple ritual, the daily choice of wild creatures to call this place home. Once, Tasmania was a place designed for vanishing. Today, it is a place where life chooses to come ashore. The coast told us Tasmania's human story. Now the highlands reveal its primal reality. A landscape carved by ice and time, where ancient creatures move through terrain that seems lifted from another planet entirely. Rising from Dove Lake like a cathedral of stone, Cradle Mountain defines Tasmania's wild heart. Surveyor Joseph Fossey named it in 1827 for its resemblance to a gold mining cradle, fitting given the region's mining history. Jagged peaks catch the light at dawn, their reflection doubling in dark water below. This is the image that draws visitors from around the world. A mountain that looks assembled by giants, all sharp edges and impossible angles. Nearby, Lake St. Clair stretches like a mirror between mountains. At 200 meters deep, it's the deepest natural freshwater lake in Australia. A wound carved by glaciers that retreated 10,000 years ago. In the streams that feed this glacial lake, one of nature's most improbable creations paddles through icy currents. The platypus seems assembled from spare parts: duckbill, beaver tail,
Hell yeah.
otter body,
It's like one of my favorite
and venomous spurs that belong on no mammal at all.
Sick ass animal.
When European scientists first examined a preserved specimen in 1798, they suspected it was a hoax, some taxidermist's cruel joke. But here it thrives in waters barely above freezing, hunting with its eyes and ears sealed shut, navigating instead by electrical signals from the muscle contractions of hidden prey. It's one of only 2 mammals on Earth that lay eggs, a living link to the evolutionary split between reptiles and mammals 200 million years ago. The highest point in Tasmania rises 1,617 meters into air so thin it burns the lungs. Mount Ossa stands crowned with snow for much of the year. Its summit, a world of wind, stone, and stubborn alpine plants that cling to life in impossible conditions. The view from Tasmania's roof stretches to every horizon, a reminder that this island, despite its human history, remains fundamentally wild.
What the hell? What the fuck you guys think this is?
The highlands fracture dramatically at Levin Canyon, where the earth simply drops away. Walls of stone plunge 275 meters to the Levin River below, a chasm that seems to split the world in half. Veteran trees cling to the canyon walls, their roots finding purchase in vertical stone. On the forest floor far below, echidnas shuffle through leaf litter, with spines bristling, searching for ants with tongues that stretch in
Okay, I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna stream on my other phone.
possibly long.